Welcome to another Dragonfall chat. Today we've got Alex Cheng from Cardboard Dynamo. You have some pretty interesting news coming out for Gigarobo. I want to talk about that. But you were also 2 years ago. You were a vendor at Dragonfall, I believe.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks much for that. That was a good. Yeah, it's all kind of a blur, but I believe we had a pretty good time that weekend. After hours. After
Yes.
the curtain call and what have
Mhm.
you. But yeah, a little bit about, I'll say a little bit about Cardboard Dynamo. So Gigarobo is a great mech game. There was a Kickstarter involved. I backed it. They're very excited about it. It's a fun game. It's fast. You get to blow up some buildings. The buildings. This is an unpaid, terrible one, so I'm sorry, but it's just to give you an idea of scale. You get to smash up a lot of cool resin and stuff like that. So Gigarobo is now open to the public now, right?
Yes. As of this week, it will now be on full public sale. Yeah. After
Where
a
can you get
very
it?
long fulfillment process.
Things happen.
Yeah. You can get it at gigarobo.com. We have a shop up there that you can get the core set and our expansions, and we're going to be like little bit by little bit rolling out we have resin miniatures, like resin miniature kits, and just isolated building kits, so you can just get the terrain if you want to do that just for wargaming, and then some special promos and stuff like that.
Last time I think I saw Gigarobo was last year's Gen Con. You had 4 resin kits in addition to the box. So what comes in the box? Tell us about the box.
So the box is you get 4 robot miniatures. They each have a full deck of cards that are different attacks and different these big ultimate finishers, these ultimate technique moves, different robot abilities. There's also 5 different pilots that all each have their own decks. And you get a double-sided board, city map. One side is like the city, a more peaceful depiction of the city, and the other side has like a giant, massive crater, and it's completely destroyed. It comes with 15 plastic structures. 5 of them are taller, like skyscrapers, and then there's 10 shorter buildings, the ones you showed before. And then a bunch of
which
D12s.
was just sitting on my desk. Like, you gave me some for the charity, which I appreciate, and it's been they've been great for terrain and like paint and take stuff. And someone got a big bag of them last year, and they were excited because it was the terrain terraformer set. So yeah. I appreciate you kicking in on that, man. That was cool. I mean, that set came with a bunch of like different terrain building supplies as well, like some like stuccos and stuff like that. So I'm sure. I think Tim won that, but hopefully we see some really distressed Gigarobo buildings. So
yeah, that'd be rad.
What's your favorite of the pilots? Does anyone know?
My favorite of I can't.
You're not allowed?
No, I can, but it's like, it's like picking your favorite child. They're all just so dear to me. And also when I play, like,
doesn't sound like my family growing up.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, there are certain ones I probably just play more often than others, but I mean, you get so distanced from it as from it being a designer versus like when you actually sit down to play the game and then you remember like, oh yeah, I designed this for myself. This is the game I want to be playing.
I know. I mean, but I definitely had favorite factions in Wreck Age.
Yeah.
And like least favorite, but I'm also not currently promoting that game, so
I love playing there's a pilot, Noriko Nagare. I love playing her. She has these really aggressive abilities where you can just drain your robot's armor, which is essentially your health, to directly get fighting spirit, which is the currency you use in the game to play cards and do attacks. And that kind of is like a top-down theme for her, which is just like this kind of just pushing everything to the limit. And it's like the robots she's piloting are kind of like crumbling beneath her, like how aggressively she's piloting them. So
she's overloading them.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
So that can be pretty dynamic where you can win fast or lose fast, I'm guessing, right?
Oh yeah. It's like it's the most linear, like risk reward kind of choice in the game, where it's,
Okay.
because normally in it, when you're getting fighting spirit, like you're getting that currency, it's, you're choosing it turn by turn. You get it when people do damage to you, and it's within the rhythm of the game. But she's the only one who can directly be like, yeah, I'm just going to drain my health to gain this.
So yeah, risk reward.
Yeah,
risk reward sounds like owning a independent game company.
Not that we wouldn't know anything about that.
No, just constantly overloading and probably losing.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about that at all.
Nope.
So, Gigarobo's out in the wild.
Yes.
Is there another game in the pipeline for Cardboard Dynamo?
There is. And it's actually a collaboration with Will Cox, who's a designer who his publishing brand is Gravitic Games. We are working on a skirmish scale miniatures game called Grave Trigger that we've been working on for a couple of years now. But super excited about. If Gigarobo is like trying to take a skirmish miniatures combat and adapting it to a board game space, this is far more of a traditional kind of miniatures game where you'd be looking at like individual models and, you know, building your own terrain, assembling the miniatures yourselves.
Line of sight rules and all that kind of stuff. So what's Grave Trigger? What's the elevator pitch for Grave Trigger? Like, what is it? Is it sci-fi? You seem like a sci-fi guy.
Very much so. Sci-fi, post-apocalyptic. So Grave Trigger is I guess the elevator pitch would be, it is a very aggressive, like high damage, fast playing miniatures game that uses deterministic rules. There's no dice rolling. And also there's no traditional line of sight. There's no tape measures needed. Essentially the game is recreating you've played Ninja Gaiden, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
the interest in
the actual like 8 and 16-bit games that were impossible.
Yeah, absolutely impossible. But also like kind of a classic anime image. The beginning of Ninja Gaiden, you see the two of them running and they leap and they slash in midair and one falls.
That's about as far as I got.
Without Game Genie, yes, that means you're a human being. It's basically like recreating these kind of really intense, highly lethal, quick kind of interactions. I think
so. It's kind of like group duel. Then it sounds like that's neat.
Yeah, it's each player has 3 miniatures. It's capped at that 3v3, highly customizable, highly lethal, and you can kind of just jump straight into it without the need for dice or bringing a tape measure or doing kind of like no need to do complete precision measurements or anything like that.
But you are going to bully people if they don't paint their miniatures.
I mean, internally.
Yeah, okay.
I won't say it out loud.
Paint your miniatures, people.
Why haven't you been painting your miniatures?
So, is it going to be a Kickstarter on the horizon, or have you learned your lesson with Kickstarter and you're going to? Kickstarter is great for starting out, but when I feel like you're a little bit more, like when you've got that solid foundation, you can, put stuff out.
Yeah.
It is great marketing, though.
It's a hard question. Yeah, it's the marketing impact of that is so big that you're ultimately making that decision. And I know there's like Osprey, for example, is just doing their own internal crowdfunding campaigns now. There's other publishers that have done the same. And like, that's obviously a much more friendly model. I don't know if I've learned my lesson yet. It is a really great marketing tool. I've had some really,
I understand the temptation, but yeah. I mean, some backers are great and some,
yes. And some are awful and toxic, but that's like any community, really. I mean, it's hard to break it down. You get enough apples in that basket. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I think I just have Kickstarter PTSD from my stuff. So I have a negative.
I'm not saying
always.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't have PTSD from it, but maybe at this point I'm just becoming a trauma junkie. I don't know. It's hard to the lines are just blurring between regular life and post Kickstarter life.
No, I understand. So other stuff to promote. So you've got some virtual Gen Con stuff going on next weekend, or
Yeah.
I mean, this video is
Gen Con
probably going to go up
Online.
right around then. So I don't know if this is really
Cool.
going to promote that in any way. But what's that? What's that like? I'm curious.
This is a good question because I
You're
don't
going to
know.
find out.
I'm gonna
You're going to
find
find
out.
out.
I mean, there's obviously there are things that translate from being there in person to online really easily, like doing
Sure.
panels. You just, I mean, that's easy. You jump on a Discord server, people are streaming themselves, you're answering
Hmm.
questions, like or doing Twitch streams. That same spiel.
Kind of like our little fireside chat right now.
Yeah,
But
I mean, like that.
yeah.
Obviously, that just translates one to one.
Mhm.
Doing demos and things like that. They're sort of. I know people are promoting that. Uh, I'm not. I guess I'll be doing demos. It's a weird thing.
Isn't
Do I
that just
do?
kind of like putting up a battle report at that point?
I
Like if you're
you'd
just doing.
think there's a lot of there's a lot of encouragement to be available online and streaming, like so. But who
Okay,
knows how that'll
so
translate? This is a
tabletop
completely new thing.
simulator. Yeah,
I'm going to be
tabletop simulator
using
type stuff, or
Yeah, I'm going to be using Tabletopia. There's a full version of the game up on Tabletopia that people can demo right
good.
now, actually, if they go to
Oh, that's good.
gigarobo.com. But I'm also going to probably be, I mean, obviously in a lockdown COVID world, I'm not going to be doing like physical games with people in person as much as I'd love to. So I'm going to be
Mhm.
streaming games that are being played through Tabletopia. Um, so everybody can still see all the components. They're just digital renders, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's so cool. I mean, I think that stuff needed to inch forward anyway, and this is just kind of pushing it forward. I mean,
Yeah.
COVID is still like making me lose my mind. I mean, we live blocks from each other, and I haven't seen you in like 6 months. This sucks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like so, I understand like those kind of challenges. Um, like I'd love to get some games in. I mean, we missed Adepticon and stuff like that. Obviously Dragonfall's
Oh.
going to be doing some more virtual stuff this year,
Mhm.
so it'll be interesting. That stuff's going to be announced rather soon.
Cool.
So I can't say a damn thing. But so as far as running have you felt like it's really taken like a little bit of your momentum out, like running a physical product game company during COVID?
Oh yeah, I won't mince words. It 100% has. Like
Mhm.
you can just look at the metrics in terms of
Sure.
yeah. It's been a weird thing because like this was originally supposed to be, and like obviously you've been privy to like fetching over all these years, like trying to get the game out there, but having all this build up until you're like at this moment where like I can finally give it to the world, and you release a game to the world that can't physically interact. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like, and obviously people's buying habits are changing also. Like Kickstarter isn't touched really, I feel like in a major way because you're investing to things that are going to be coming out later where you're hoping everything will have passed by then. But
I
I
know.
mean,
Yeah. I think a lot of people that have Chinese production, and I know you've had your fun in games with Chinese production, but I
yep,
think we're
fun
going to
and
see
games.
quite the there's going to be some delays with those Kickstarters. And I think
Yeah,
there's going to be delays with any Kickstarters, period. But now they're just going to be like baked in 2020.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you about your Chinese production woes. I think that will.
That's old hat anyway.
We don't, yeah, well, I know. So what have you been able to do anything, or do you have any like ideas for the future that are like pivoting to more of like? I mean, obviously the Tabletopia, like that took some work, I'm sure.
Yeah, no,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, especially because like the digital platforms that are out there, there's so few, and Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia are the two big ones. But even trying to like adapt your work for either of them, like uploading models, they have different requirements and different like there's just the file types, the way the files are rendered, like especially if you're putting up 3D objects, it's not a one-to-one process, so you need to be going through two separate paths to get them up there. I I think in terms of like kind of changing future plans, it has made me consider like how do you I mean, because we're all in this for the physical product, right? We're tabletop gamers because we love the
Mhm.
tabletop experience. We love the tactile, like we love picking up the miniatures, we love playing with our toys, and we love being with our friends
And
while we're doing it.
shaking each other's hands after a game.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like you don't want to completely give that up, but it has made me think about like how like to design something that you can digitize easier, which I feel like the industry that's something that like with Tabletopia, with Tabletop Simulator, like people have been looking to do anyway. Like now you have paid modules on Tabletop Simulator, so people are directly adapting, their board games and their miniatures games to just physics simulators essentially. So thinking about how to translate that.
Yeah. I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp of your creative process, but were your original sculpts 3D? I feel like they would be, right?
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah.
Does that help? I mean, I feel like it would kind of have to help doing transitioning anything to like a digital environment.
Well, yeah, 100%. Because it's mostly like, I mean, the requirements of those programs, like because they're both based in Unity, there are things that when you're doing a digital sculpt, you don't generate stuff like normal maps and these texture objects that Unity and these engines need to kind of like give depth and detail to the miniatures. So you have to, when
flesh them out a little bit.
Yeah, you have to flesh them out a little bit. But ultimately, like what I'm doing is that I'm taking like the digital print files, like these STLs, and just giving them to developers to then add those extra elements to upload to Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator. So it does make it way easier. Just to adapt it directly. It's just more just passing those assets on and then having people punch them up for you.
It's intriguing. Yeah. So, I mean, do you get metrics of activity and stuff? I'm sorry, I'm I'm digging into this Tabletopia.
Go for it, man. Let's do it. You do get some. You can see like average plays. If you are logging in, you can see the amount of games that are running like currently. Yeah, so there are some metrics for that.
So that sounds like something, even if COVID didn't hit, it's something that you were probably exploring anyway.
Well, I've had the Tabletopia demo, like not the full version of the game, but I've had the demo up since we ran our Kickstarter in 2016. So there was a demo.
Shows how much I was paying attention.
But it was like
I got a real life demo. So I wasn't like Googling Gigarobo demo. Like yeah
you had no
because we met at ValorCon, RIP ValorCon, the downtown one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it was a great effort, and the best thing that came out of that con, and not just even for me and you, but like the best thing period to come out of that con is our friend.
I absolutely agree. Like if it wasn't for
among
that,
among all attendees, like no one topped what we have.
No. Getting to meet you, getting to meet Josh, like that was great, and it was instant and beautiful.
Yeah, Josh. Oh yeah, I'll text you after. We should set something up with Josh when everything gets together. We've been keeping in touch. Let's. So you've got the Tabletopia thing. You've got a new game that you're gonna be showing the launch stuff for. When do you think that's gonna be?
I don't know. That's we have like the bulk of it designed, but we still need to have miniatures sculpted. We still need we're still making art. So it's a ways off from being. It's like it won't be too long until we could demo it for people. It'll be a ways off until we can give like a full featured preview.
Yeah, I understand. The thing, and I hate to say this, just to dig into Kickstarter again, if you're going to go the Kickstarter route, you have to be 95% done now.
Oh, yeah.
This is not 8 years ago where you're just like, hey, guys, there's some sketches on some napkins and some ideas. Give me some money and I'll make it happen. Like now it's just like, oh, here's a full product. Like pre-order this from us. So like that's, Well, there's not with pre-production. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pre-order system at this point. I mean, I feel like the actual independent creators who need that like kind of like groundswell of support to actually get it made are fewer and fewer these days.
Mhm. Speaking of, and we'll wrap up there because I think that's a good thing. As an independent game designer, what's the best way to support you right now with COVID or just in general? Like, what's the best thing you could do to support like another local Chicago-based independent game designer?
Beyond buying their games, I would say it's just helping promote them on social media. If they have a YouTube channel, subscribe to their channel, interact with their content, just help spread exposure for other indie game developers. I think that's just the
Like and
absolute
share.
best thing. Yeah, I mean, like
And
it's trite, but it really helps. I mean,
and
fight the
with
algorithm.
the oh yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, just 80 people are going to see this, but whatever. With the direct sales are the best sales too. I'd like to kind of mention. So Gigarobo.com. I'm gonna get that. I'll collect some links and images from you. I'd like to get throw up a splash of your favorite pilot, and kind of give those kind of things. So,
Sure.
But yeah, thanks so much for this Dragonfall chat. Maybe we can do a bat rep when things clear up. Kind of go through that. That would be a lot of fun.
That would be
Or
awesome.
We could just do
I'd love to do that.
We could just do it like two chess players that can't interact. We're I'm Magneto and you're Doctor Charles Xavier, and you just kind of tell me where to move your robo, and that you're and that you are overloading it, and that you've won, and then I'll just throw my Gigarobo box in the trash.
That's the natural lifespan of the game anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh no! If I lose a game, I'm done forever.
No,
but
burn it, let it die.
So yes, Gigarobo.com, guys. Alex, thanks so much, man. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Let's maybe talk about grilling in the backyard, and I'll just throw drinks at you.
That would be lovely. I will bring drinks to throw at you from across the yard.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
Just heads up. Got to give a heads up. But this is another Dragonfall chat. Thanks for Cardboard Dynamo, the Dynamo himself, Alex Cheng, for joining us. And we'll be seeing you guys soon. Thanks.